Welcome back everybody into the second day of the FTMO challenge, and what we are going to see is what happened today, of course during New York session. As you can see, New York started around here, this is 2 p.m. and as you can see we had already like 50 pips of upside movement right before New York open. So when I came into the charts, what I did was sort of charting up the recent PSAs and the hourly that were already from the morning. So charted this PSA, these previous lows, and these previous lows. As I said, the hourly were already here from the morning. So what I was seeing, expecting and waiting was either an upside move from here or as exactly as it happened, liquidity grab at New York open, as you can see, liquidity grab and then continuation up. I can show you, as you can see here, this was the time and this is what I was expecting. You can see the time was like here 9 minutes before New York open, expecting this liquidity grab, not looking for an entry here, but knowing that this would be a confluence to then continue bullish. As you can see, this is exactly what happened. I didn't take any entry here and it was not a problem. I mean, I knew that that would have been my confirmation for taking an entry here. So what indeed happened was that the first 30 minutes here we had the retail sales, which came sort of good, neutral, nothing really special, nothing surprising. And as always, when there's nothing surprising on the charts, on the market, nothing really happens. So as you can see, for me, I was buying above here and looking for sells below here or even below or even here, because if it broke here, we didn't have that huge of a range below to the previous, to the next following PSA. So I waited. If in the first FTMO challenge I would have rushed an entry here, of course this will, in this case would be good, but I would have rushed here or possibly here, or maybe looking for another entry here. This time I was very calm and I was waiting for my PSAs. My daily mission for today was to be patient but execute when the pre-plan shows up, and we're going to see next what happens. So as you can see, we are in this big range. For me, it's no touch. Yes, now we are having the confirmation, and we're going to see it on the hourly time frame that the momentum is bearish, absolutely, but we're not having a real entry on the 1 minute chart because there are too many PSAs too close together to enter. So as you can see, even here, it's not a break retest that I want to take because we are exactly at the hourly PSA. So for me to become bearish, we need to break below these huge PSA that I'm going to show you on the hourly time frame. So what I did here, this is a New York Stock Exchange open, but what I did was looking at the hourly chart and then the 4-hour chart, which is not part of the system, my trade system, but I felt it was what I needed to do because I have this huge big PSA. This is pre-New York, this is New York, and this is the next hour. So during this hour that I'm looking and seeing how big and strong the bearish movement is, fueled by whatever fundamental reason there was, I'm starting to shift in the bearish bias. I don't have a clean entry because yes, my bias is bearish, but we still have, I can't enter here. Maybe Raja would have entered here because it's breaking these previous lows. Yes, but for me, we have too much of a PSA of of noise that everywhere can be rejected. So maybe I enter below here and I get rejected 25 pips later. So it's not enough for my range. what I started looking at was, okay, if you see it like this is very clear that if price breaks below these previous lows, in this case the wicks, but I could have done with the bodies, candle bodies, and would have been much better, but to avoid getting another rejection, what I thought was, okay, if there's a place where the price will most likely continue bearish, is if it breaks below this level. So what I did was placing a sell stop at 21.77 exactly. I like was a small size 0.20. I gave 30 pips here because of I wanted to cover with the possible wick, want to cover this PSA as well, and I put like 100 pips of final TP. Of course, I knew that price could have easily rejected these levels, and that's why I put my usual partials at 30 pips. So this is here, but as you can see, I placed the sell stop. So and what happens is that here it gets activated. 21.77, 21.77, 30 pips. This is profit, 100 pips, and 30 pips of stop loss. Okay, so when it gets activated, for me, that's no more. I don't need to stay on the charts anymore. We are breaking impulsively below. The trend is strong, is very strong. The volume is clear. So if we have to look at the checklist, yes, 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 is already trending. High time frame is in trend. This is sort of, but okay, don't put it. This is okay because we don't have any of these. Any report? No. Did I mentor park? Yes, because I was very good at that. No trades? No. Yes, trade. So it's a very good trade that I didn't take manually. If I would have taken manually, would have probably be a breaker retest here, as you can see. But as you can see, the price action was not nice. So this is 30 pips from my level. As you can see, the stop loss is not as it should be as per market structure, but that's because was pending order, so I couldn't know where the price action on the 1 minute would be. I gave it 30 pips, and luckily this was good enough. What happened was that here we get to our 30 pips. I did one mistake, which was putting half the position at 30 pips instead of 80%, which is my rule. Anyway, I get 30 pips here, as you can see, and half of the position is taken in profit and the stop loss at break even. As you can see, 2 candles later, we are at break even. As you can see, the trend is very clearly slowing down. We are staying below this PSA, but still we are in this range. And this is exactly the range that I was talking about. And this is the movement that I was expecting, taking my 30 pips out of it. If it went continue down, which is also doing now, this would be, if I wasn't taken out at break even here, around here, and I still have the position, I would have left it intraday even tomorrow. So as you can see now, we are still going down. There's no volume, but very happy about my decision. It was not as per plan, but as you can see, we went exactly to the PSA that I was looking at as soon as we broke here. Unluckily, this price action was messy, but anyway, we got our 30 pips out of profit. So as you can see, this is the results of today. this is of course the demo account, half position at 30 pips. I don't have the pips here, okay, at 30 pips, and half the position at break even with the commissions. So we are at 0.2%. Of course, this should have been 0.16 and 0.04. So this one would have been like 60% more than this. So 28.39 plus 28.39, like should have been 45, but still it's very good. I'm very happy and pleased of what I've done today. And this is the journaling. So what I did, I started filling this when I was it was still a pending order, and it got activated while I finished writing it. So there's a stop loss below strong support on the 4-hour time frame. Why I did it? Because the New Yorker saw strong volume and momentum that was reverting on the bearish side. On the 1 minute, the price action was too messy to enter, but I understood that if price was to go below the certain level, there were high probabilities to continue down. Place an intraday trade with 30 pips stop loss with a much smaller lot size. Of course, I should have waited for a candle setup on the 1 minute as per trading plan. What I can do better is waiting for the candle to close, maybe a 15 or 30 minutes before the level, to close below the level, because maybe we get caught up in a liquidity grab. What feeling will I perceive? When it got activated, of course, my heart rate was beating faster, but I didn't have any fear of losing. I only had 0.5 at risk, and it was my one and only trade of the day, which is already showing up to be very good. This mindset of taking 1-2 trades per day, it will be very, very good. Was I able to detach from this feeling and thoughts? Yes, I was not attached to any particular feeling during all the New York session, and I was able to avoid suboptimal trades. As you can see, this messy price action could have led into like 2-3 trades taken if it was the first one, my first FTMO. But I managed to, okay, I have these price levels, I don't touch anything here, and I only take action afterwards. So as you can see now, price is going. Let's see if it reacts again at these levels. Let's see. And it's time to fill the constructive self-assessment. Trades review. One trade, partials in profit plus break even. Nope, no missed opportunities. Did anything completely unexpected happen? We can say that pre-New York, very aggressive push. How did I react? Coming into the charts at New York, was able not to feel any FOMO, but simply acknowledge it. What were the main fears that I experienced today? That my sell stop would get triggered and then jump bullish. Let's put it this way. Will that diffuse? Sort of. I was able to leave the pending order until it got activated. Okay. Any thoughts that fuse and affected me? Nope. My trading strong point was patience and discipline, respecting the price sensitivity areas, and sensitivity areas, and the hourly PSAs. And plus having a multi-time frame understanding of momentum. Very good. Well, my second limitation were that I was not focused too much and wanted to cut the session short. Almost bored. Was definitely based on what I've learned. Monitor, possibly. Monitor 15-30 minutes candles to understand if intraday trades might be on the menu, that I can diffuse from FTMO thoughts, that I can place a pending order and leave it. Tell myself that I can possibly transition into intraday trades if price action on the 1 minute is not feasible, is not optimal. Possibly transition. Okay. So this was my journaling. So no missed opportunity. I took whatever I saw. Coming into the charts at New York, I was able to not feel any FOMO because of the for the previous price action movement. I placed my sell stop, which was for me very reasonable on the 4-hour time frame. And as you can see, it went exactly to my level. Possibly tomorrow we will reach the 100 pips movement, but still, of course, on the hourly, I mean, I gave him 30 pips and I was lucky enough that I didn't get triggered, so it might still be going down into this area, but has to break this aggressive PSA. I was patient, I didn't feel any rush to take entries, and I felt that I was in perfect control of my bias. That's very good. So we close at plus 0.27%, 23, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.